Hi, my name is Nathan and welcome to Your Come Up, where on Your Come Up we talk about all topics to help you come up. Business, finance, personal, spiritual, and physical. And today we're going to talk about quiet quitting. And by the end of this video, I might just be able to change your perspective on quiet quitting. But if you're just tuning in and you're not familiar with what quiet quitting is, I'll play you this quick TikTok. If you are familiar with what quiet quitting is, well, you can go scroll right past it and get into the content. Let's go.
More and more Gen Z and millennial employees are quiet quitting their jobs. So what is quiet quitting and what factors have led to this workplace behavior? Brute can explain in less than 60 seconds. Quiet quitting is essentially employee disengagement, where workers stop going above and beyond what's asked, stop completing tasks and projects without compensation, and stop overly participating in workplace hustle culture. The trend has been triggered by widespread employee burnout, the Great Resignation, and new workplace policies following the COVID-19 pandemic. And while some may believe the term quiet quitting has a negative connotation, many experts disagree. Employees who engage in quiet quitting often view their own personal identity as separate from their job and make their own workplace behaviors and efforts reflect that. A quiet quitter is more likely to have workplace boundaries and say no to extra work without compensation. The hashtag quiet quitting, where both employees and employers share their experiences, has almost 20 million views on TikTok.
Now, after watching that video, some people pursue the act of quiet quitting as a choice, for whatever reasons may be. And it could be due to a plethora of reasons. Some might feel that the career may not grow. Others might feel like they're not getting paid enough for what they do. Or it's just maybe you're feeling overworked and I'm tired of this, so I'm just gonna do the bare minimum just to get by, just enough to keep my job. Now, some other reasons for quiet quitting might be employee burnout. However, you cannot entirely quit your job because there's still the need to pay bills and keep a roof over your head. Or maybe you're quiet quitting because you're pursuing a side hustle and you just want to do the bare minimum at your job. This is just my thoughts on this. I believe whatever job you have, if you take your employee's wage, just do the job as best you can. If you turn the switch on and quiet quit immediately, employees and your employers will notice that. And when you just make that a behavior abrupt, I'm not encouraging quiet quitting, but for me personally, I encourage on doing the best job possible while you're there. I mean, just do what you gotta do. I mean, just to keep the job, because whether you're in a good economy or a down economy, which at the time of this video, I believe we are in a down economy, you gotta keep the income going. But rather than quiet quitting, how about quiet shining instead?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hear me out. Let's say that you're at the job, you got burned out, you hate it, you don't like it. Instead of just making that behavior of quiet quitting very noticeable and abrupt, just do the job at hand that you're asked to do, then on your lunch break or on your time off or on your, on your personal time, quiet shine your way to another job, quiet shine your way to another interview, or perhaps quiet shine your side hustle after work. And then until that takes off, then instead of quiet quitting, you tell your employee to shove it. And I've been in situations before where I was working for an employer where I didn't feel truly appreciated. I've been there for years. I helped the company grow. And no matter what I did or how much above and beyond I didn't feel I was properly compensated. Does it mean I scale back? It's definitely demoralizing to, do all that extra work and not feel appreciated or compensated. More importantly, compensated. Your way of appreciating me is compensating me. Instead of just not doing the bare minimum and just saying F it. I had another kid on the way and I had a kid at that time too. I just quietly quit and quietly shined into another position. So that's what I did. But when that happened and I gave him my notice that, hey, I'm leaving. Oh, now you want to show your boy appreciation and offer me that proper compensation. That's just my input. Now, let's say you're building a side hustle. I just don't like that unwanted attention of, hey, how come Brian is not doing the extra work that he used to, or how come Brian's output is not reflective? I mean, I get it as an employer. They want to pay you the least amount of possible and get the most output from you as possible. At the same time, as an employee, hey, I'm guilty of this sometimes too. I want to do the least amount of work possible, get paid the most as possible. But sometimes there's just no substitution for hard work. There just isn't. You got to put the work in. I mean, as an employee where you just got to keep that paycheck going, and I don't want to put myself in a position where my employer can quietly fire me. Or that's the term too, quietly fire. For those that are not familiar with it, think of that movie Office Space when Milton, that cubicle guy, all of a sudden got his office relocated into the basement, or employers just double task you, triple task you, put all these tasks on you. You do the tasks, you try to do what's needed for the sake of the job, but yet you just feel unappreciated and shit on, and they just crap on you because they overworked you and you're just doing. I mean, it's just tough to deal with that. But instead of just making your voice boisterous and F you and just causing all this destruction, my first thing is you got to keep the income coming in, because the bills got to be paid. Unless you got a backup plan or a bridge you can cross, or if you're going to close this door, I pray that you have another door wide open for you. I just am not built like this. Some people can just close the door, not have a foreseeable plan, and bounce on their feet. I mean, kudos to you, but for me, I would prefer, I know what my next move is before, you know, closing that door on my employer. Because at least while you're at that job, you took their offer, you took their pay. Do the best you can while you're there before you quietly shine into the next position, or perhaps you're building your side hustle. I mean, for me, as I make YouTube videos at my job, yeah, during my lunch break, I do edit, make videos, script them, write them out, not only for this channel, but also a comic book channel. By the way, this video is sponsored by Rated Comics for allowing me to film at their comic book store, and it's also the YouTube channel I create YouTube content for as well. And last but not least, hey, I'm an author of 4 books, link in description. But that's my belief on quiet quitting. I mean, just do what you can to keep the job for right now. I mean, it's just demoralizing when you get overworked and you get shit thrown at you, and it's like, I'm doing all this just to feel underappreciated. And sometimes maybe you do get a bump and raise. Also, my thoughts on quiet quitting is, let's say your coworkers decide to quiet quit, you know, and it's noticeable, but you decide, well, maybe I'll just do the work. Perhaps you do get that bump and raise because your employer notices. I mean, let's just be hypothetical here. If it's not enough, you can always talk about that. Or at the very least, take the raise and quietly shine your way into another position, or network, or rub elbows and stuff like that. But do it quietly, because hey, there's gossip in the office, and you never know who's going to tell management or the executives about you just for the sake of them trying to lower you down so they can bring themselves up. And it's just, I mean, it's corporate politics, but it's effed up, man. But do it quietly. That's what I encourage. So if you are going to quiet quit, or quietly shine, I should say, if you're going to quietly shine, do it quietly. Do what's asked from your employer, in my personal opinion. That's just how I would do it. I'm just built that way, where if you give me a task, I'm going to ace it, because I'm going to make it very hard for you to can me. Because if I'm going to leave you, I'd rather have it be I gave you the notice because I'm quietly shining somewhere else, versus my employer taking the rug from underneath my feet. That's just my opinion. I mean, look, Great Resignation, pandemic, people, I totally get it. I mean, we all have our needs as an employee, but at the same time, the most important rule, in my opinion, as a father too, just, yeah, I don't want to have the rug so underneath my feet when I got kids to feed and bills to pay too. That's just me. Me being single, different, because I could feed my damn self, or I could skip a meal or two. Hey, I can say that, not you, internet. Actually, I'm okay with that. Or 2, if you're doing a side hustle, just do the best you can while you're at your job. Make sure you keep that income flowing, but also quietly shine your side hustle when it's dark, when the lights are out. That way, what you do in the dark will always come into the light, and you quietly shine nice and bright, baby. Woo! And last but not least, I don't want to put my employer or give my employer any reason to quietly fire me, or, I mean, sometimes they're just going to do it because they're a-holes like that. But if they're going to quietly fire me, then in that case, I'll see the signs, but I'm going to quietly shine somewhere else and try not to have my emotions get the better of me. So hopefully you guys got the message behind this video. I mean, that's just a topic I wanted to cover because I see the trend online, and I saw that TikTok video, and I thought it was really interesting that, yeah, I mean, I get the side of not going above and beyond, because yeah, I do want to make the most I can by putting the least amount of effort as possible. But I also do recognize there's no substitution for hard work if you ever want to level up in terms of pay and what you do. And I do recognize that some employers, not all of them, there's some really good employers out there that want to pay you the least amount of possible, give you the most amount of work for the sake of profit. And I believe if you treat your people better, your people will give you more output. Happy employees are productive employees. That's just how it'll work if I'm running a business. But hey, I'm actually an employee, and I'm working on the side hustle, writing books and creating content to promote my books and providing some value out there for you guys. That's just my opinion, man. Just quietly shine your way into your side hustle, building your business, or into another job if you feel like you're not appreciated or you just not happy where you're at anymore. Or if you are happy where you're at, look, I think it's noble to stay at one job for the rest of your life, but in this day and age, around my circle of friends, I haven't seen it. I just rather prefer I make the move than my employer, and don't give them a reason to make that move. That's just my opinion. Good economy or down economy. So I hope you guys got the message behind this video. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel to your come up for more videos like this. And also comment below, let me know on what content you'd like to see on Nathen Hache Your Come Up. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.